Hi guys, welcome back to the Fata Morgana playthrough. Now today we are going to be looking into, let me just show you. Firstly the prologue, and I just mentioned that I didn't expect to find this here at all. I didn't know this was actually on the ending screen, so I'm assuming the prologue unlocks once you have looked at all of the endings. And yeah, maybe if we get time as well, we're going to begin the backstage. But firstly, before I want to do that, I realised, I don't know how I realised, but I did realise sometime in the morning today, oh god, what am I doing? That there was a choice I had forgotten to read. Yeah, here it is. Forgot to read, I already have someone. So yeah, let's just read this quickly. Yeah. So basically, this is the one choice where we don't make Gazelle completely regret her choice in a man. I mean, to be fair, let's be honest, Michelle always talks Gazelle out of it, but there are some times where things don't go the best. I.e., when we when we say that Pauline is the person that we like. God, I cannot control my mouse. Okay, there we go. It is very complicated. I totally agree. It is personal. Yeah, you are not getting yourself out of this. She seems surprised. Oh god. Oh god, don't invite him. Don't invite him to do something like that. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, that does happen, providing that we make the right choices. If we don't, that blessing is basically useless. yeah, oh my god, of course she has a distinctive smile, but it's difficult when she is literally listening to every word that you were saying. God, that must be so awkward. Yeah, kind of. It's yes and no. I hope so. But what if you're on a, I don't know, a business trip or something? It won't be cheap. I love that she specifies that. Oh god. Oh god. Things are changing. She is, technically. Yeah, to be fair, that is a very good answer. But that may imply that you've had a row or something, and maybe they don't, maybe at the moment you're not loving each other as much as you have done in previous time periods. Sounds like she's dead when he says this. God. Yeah, thanks, Pauline. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, well, ironically, I suppose mentally, sure, the illusion of Gazelle is here, but will the real Gazelle ever be able to be seen again? And we know the answer, which is quite cool. That's interesting, my god. Yeah, and I just think it's really funny. Michelle probably doesn't even realise. He doesn't have any embarrassment when saying this, but also he just doesn't really He doesn't care about the fact that Gazelle is listening to every word. Yeah. Oh god, no. You do not know her. You do not know their relationship. Oh god. Yeah, god, look how impulsively she responds. Despite that, Michelle says this. I mean, he has confidence, let's be honest here. Yeah. Yeah, just get... Well, get around 50 of Maria's lifetimes, and boom. Wait, hang on. No, Maria isn't 20. No, I think she's in her late 20s, I can't remember. Still, a lot of lifetimes. Yeah. I mean, at least she's honest. It is interesting that you just apply normal logic to a situation that is so unreal. God, Nelly hearing that is just all of her dreams being crushed. Yeah, because I wouldn't, let's be honest here. I mean, I'm sorry, but if somebody is waiting for you for centuries, I think that's ridiculous to say. You've just never had the pleasure of knowing that. God. Imagine being asked this. Not A1. What? Why don't you just say not one? Not A1. Not a 1. No, it just doesn't work. I love that Maria's just trying to apply her logic. I mean, yeah, you can really tell that she's lived a rough life, if anything, if she has logic like this. Just the feeling of never being able to trust somebody. And I mean, no wonder she feels like this. But the only thing is, I am surprised, in a way, because I would have thought that all of this suspicion and the lack of ability to trust somebody who isn't herself, I suppose, and people who are... I suppose the changing feelings, I can attribute all of that to Jacopo, but the only thing is, obviously, this is not anything to do with him, this is to do with women. But it's just funny how he has all of those properties, and I mean, I suppose we could think about... Wait, no, actually, no, there's one thing that she couldn't know that I was thinking about. I was thinking about how her feelings to Morgana have kind of changed. To be fair, they haven't changed, but what he is doing to Morgana has changed. And obviously, I suppose now his feelings technically have changed, because sure, he has romantic feelings, but he's completely consumed by guilt because of everything that he's done to her. Which, I don't blame him. If he wasn't, I would be concerned. Yeah, fair enough. That is the best line. I mean, to be fair, prostitutes can still have love. I mean, obviously it's a lot more complicated given the nature of their career, but still. Fair enough. It shouldn't. It is actually really interesting when you see views like this. Obviously, Nelly doesn't really know much about love and she's kind of in fairy tale world, but at the same time, she does have really quite positive views because of the fact that she doesn't really know the reality that could actually be quite beneficial for the people who do know the reality of these things, just to view it positively rather than negatively, and maybe then they'll be able to have better experiences if they go in with a more open mind. It's obviously hard not to. It's hard to go into an open mind with something if you have experienced something that has made you be put off by it, though, of course. Yeah, fair enough. Jesus. What a backstab. That was fun. Dude, I missed the best choice. Seriously, that was actually quite interesting. Because not only, I mean, I suppose obviously we get some characterization in the other ones, but we actually get characterization of Maria here, which is quite nice. And, well, I mean, you cool. I mean, when I say character development, I don't mean learning stuff like this. No way! This is the ultimate twist to Fata Morgana. Better than Chapter 2 twist confirmed. You have got to be fucking with me. Dude. Okay, this is what I was saying. So, this is the characterization. And this is the twist. The value of that joke would have been totally lost if I didn't realise that I hadn't changed the scene that was being outputted to you guys. Anyway, now we're going to be reading the prologue. See you then. Right, okay, here we go. Let's begin this. See what the hell this prologue is about. It's going to be interesting. I've got no idea what to expect. Like, genuinely. Is this going to be like a... If you've read Higurashi, is it going to be like the staff after party? Oh, no, it actually looks like serious story. Okay, nice. Is this Michelle and Gazette? Why are we here? Okay, this is really quite unusual. What is this? The Maid and Morgana. What is going on? Where is Morgana sleeping? Is she sleeping on the floor or something? Hang on. There we go. Just trying to get a comfortable position. There we go. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I suppose I really do wonder how mental health is kind of... Well, I mean, I suppose obviously physical health isn't really something that happens much, but because of the fact that health isn't really a concept for all of these people, I wonder how... Let's say, for example, if we don't sleep, it's undeniably going to affect our mental state. But that clearly doesn't happen with these people because they just don't have the concept of being affected by things like these. Why would I not be concerned? Oh god, imagine if a doctor said that to you. I forgot about this twist, the fact that the maid could potentially be Morgana. is weird that they share souls. Yeah, fair enough. I suppose self-interest. Yeah, my god, yeah. Yeah. That is interesting. So I really do wonder when this is, because I suppose this was around Jacopo's time, where the maid just totally lost hope in herself, and obviously as a result of that, she believed that she was Morgana. Yeah. It's surprising. Yeah, I can imagine that. Mint leaves are very nice. I mean, I've not really tried tea with the best fresh mint leaves whenever I've had them, but at the same time though, even ones that are of average quality, still really, really good. I'd love to try just properly good quality mint tea. That must be very, very nice. What? Are you really telling me that this story is an entire lie? This is definitely not what I was expecting, but... fair enough. But what I find really unusual about this is the indication that there could possibly be... well, I don't know, the maid's kind of talking about this from an outsider's perspective, as if everything that we have seen is a story. Yeah, I don't like this. Really? Yeah, I suppose it is a simple question if you have instinct, but if you don't, obviously, it's a very complex question with a very simple answer. Yeah, so this is really a time where the understanding of everything that goes on is very low, and I think this is one of the endings. This is kind of like a continuation on one of the endings. One of the endings where nothing happened. And it's interesting that Morgana is the one who tells the story as well. I just wonder how far the story is told. I'd assume the story is told until the point of Michelle's death. Yeah, and I mean, that indicates that there really isn't much knowledge. But Gazelle taking the name Michelle, that's really weird. But the only thing is, I mean, Gazelle has a very similar look. I suppose she does kind of have a similar personality to the white-haired girl, but obviously they are completely different people. This is weird. But you are her. Yeah, totally. Dude, you are Gazelle! That's the thing. So, I mean, I suppose this is meant to be a prologue, so it does kind of make sense. So, I would assume... I always had the question of if the maid is losing sight of all of her memories and all of herself, then why does she have such a vivid recount of everything that is going on? Or is she just completely making it up as she goes along? But I think she's been told all of the separate chapter stories by Morgana so much that she has that retention just because of how many times she's been told the stories. I'd assume, given the lifestyle of the lifespan of the maid, it would be hundreds of times. Maybe no, that's ridiculous. Maybe 100 at the best. Probably a lot of times. So you think that Gazelle reincarnates to the white-haired girl? I mean, God, Morgana. I mean, Gazelle doesn't know any different, but still, yeah. And it is interesting, if we don't realise, and if we end the story early because of the fact that we just don't have the knowledge to continue, we are the white-haired girl, even though we are meant to be Michelle. So basically, a part of Morgana's soul is mistaken for Michelle. Yeah. I know. And isn't it interesting that Morgana was just totally laughing at her for the entire time that this was going on? But, I mean, it's kind of... It's sick because you were literally playing with somebody without them realising it. Now, don't take that sexually. I meant, like, you were messing with them, not the other type. But, yeah. She is, though, seriously. Oh my god. God. I've just got to quote this. If I were Gazelle, yeah. God, isn't it interesting just how little she remembers? But of course, she wouldn't remember much. I mean, she has been living as the maid for hundreds of years. Why would she remember that she is Morgana? Sorry, Morgana. I meant Gazelle. That's interesting. Fair enough. I mean, it's interesting that she asks this because, I mean, what is a few hundred years? That is a seriously long amount of time. And she just downplays it like that just at the possibility. I mean, I think that's a bit of an optimistic view. God. Look at how extensive this... What, Morgana just deliberately leaving out key details is? Yeah, 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 yeah. She seems very excited. Or I don't know, maybe that's just how I imagine her reading. Well, her saying this in her head. God. Just inside the mansion? Nowhere outside? I suppose Morgana wants to have time to think to herself. I do wonder what she's going to think about. She's actually going out of the mansion. I mean, obviously she's... Oh, I'm surprised. So it's interesting that she doesn't really want to cause Gazelle pain. Not because of the fact that she has mercy for her, but simply because Gazelle would not be of use to her if pain was caused. Because let's be honest, if it's not delivered through Michelle's mouth, she will not be able to bear the pain. Because Morgana just doesn't have that level of support to her that Michelle would. Yeah, so Mell's sprite just totally, or his shadow just totally writhing in regret. Yeah, fair enough, but will looking at your problems make them go away? I mean, no matter what happens, your soul is trapped and you are cursed to be here for eternity. Isn't it interesting that she still holds this grudge after so many years? But I suppose also, with this as well. I mean, it is true. It is. I mean, do you really need to do this? Do you really need to? It's horrible to think about the fact that she can... I mean, obviously these people have done really, really bad things to her. Sure, that's undeniable, but at the same time to think about the fact that Morgana is just justifying putting these people here for hundreds of years. It's not just, I don't know, 10 days or something. It's fucking hundreds of years. It's eternity. Yeah. Well, this is just a fraction of the pain that Morgana has experienced. I bet you that's what she thinks. To be fair, I won't deny, this art is amazing. But, yeah, I see what he means. It's just dead. And the mansion is very odd in the world of the dead, especially when you think about all of the bushes with iron thorns as well. I mean, sure, it wasn't his fault, but why would Morgana see that? God, how brutal. Isn't it interesting how Morgana is just totally bullying these people? Just because she has hatred, she has nobody to make her see the other ways. She obviously has an eternal lifespan, so she just constantly never sees anything apart from hatred. I mean, why is this a bad thing? Because in this chapter, the chapter 1, Nelly had done some absolutely awful things because her love for her brother was going absolutely out of hand, and she was not accepting any of the I mean, okay, it's not fair, a lot of the responsibility that she was having, but she was just really not having a mature outlook on it whatsoever. To be fair, can you really blame her? And I think that's a debatable answer. But what I'm trying to say is the lack of control she had, and then obviously the things that she did to the white-haired girl, Mell's lover. I mean, surely that's understandable? Yeah, you're a total sadist. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting that Morgana only really sees these people for their bad side. And he thinks their bad side is so bad that there can never be anything good. He just doesn't have energy to fight back. He really doesn't. That aged well. Yeah, God, what a hopeless situation. My dear, my God, you can just really see the status there, if you ask me. Status. Authority, just hierarchy. If you like, is she going to visit everybody now? And we're going... I think the obvious objective of the prologue is just to make everything seem so much more... Yeah, I think so. Just to make the ending seem so much more surprising. Oh God, we hear the beast. Just speaking in incomprehensible jargon. Yeah, God, you can just really see that he's succumbed to madness. Yeah, and you can just see what your hatred and you constantly locking these people up and restraining them is doing to their spirits. Because I suppose they're dead, sure, but at the same time... Oh, it's Georges. This is going to be interesting, but yeah, it's just... It's horrible how much torture they are going through, and it's just interesting how she's totally permitting it. She doesn't feel any remorse at permitting it at all. Hello, is Morgana are we receiving Morgana? Yeah, I don't think so. She is gone. Do you know the time? Oh god, bad question. Oh my god, yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen with Jacopo. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Oh, right. I thought he was referring to Jacopo. Sorry, she was referring to Jacopo. It looks like she was referring to Georges. God. Is this a glitch or something? Or is there... Yeah, okay, so there's not even... I'm just surprised that there's no ellipses that are used here. Because that's what they'd normally do. God, look at how the mansion has just totally broken him and his spirit. It's total powerlessness. Yeah, because you are aiming your hatred to the wrong person. But obviously everything that Jacopo has done, let's be honest, it's deserving of what... Well, it's not really deserving of hundreds of years of torment, but it's reasonable to think about why Morgana would have wanted to hate him. Yeah. I can imagine her just being so angry. Yeah, I suppose because these people were tied towards the mansion, and obviously Morgana is kind of in control of everything, so if Morgana rejects somebody, then I suppose they're going to be treated really badly, and also it's just an eternity bound to the same room. And I suppose I do find it surprising that even though these people are here, they have so little power that they are forced to be in kind of the most iconic locations for them. They don't have the power to move out of it, so you're just constantly stuck somewhere. Yeah, that's interesting. But it totally makes sense when you consider who this is. This is not the Lord. And I think it's so interesting that even though she's treating him to an eternity of torture, she doesn't know who this person is. And she never discovers it in so many of the endings. Yeah, the fact that no matter how much care you show for a human being, it will just come back on you. Yeah. Oh my god. He's talking. Yeah, because Morgana doesn't know whatsoever. He doesn't know who he truly is, and then I suppose that's the madness of trying to obviously be in the same location, but also just appealing to your guilt. Oh, it's Gazelle. Yeah, just... Oh, what did you do? Just bullied some people? I mean, seriously, you're just seeing these people and then obviously making their life misery. Who's worse? I mean, you're treating these people... you've probably treated people like Mell way worse than they've ever treated you at this point. I mean, sure, Morgana was treated horribly in her life, but she's treating them a lot worse in their death. Just especially because of the time, as well as the imprisonment. Oh, that's interesting. So is this the white-haired girl? The white-haired girl, shut up, it's Michelle. Or at least the person that we think is the white-haired girl at first. Yeah. It is not her. Oh, yeah, obviously, because, of course, yeah, because when she says her, Morgana's remembering that Michelle was a man. Yeah. Because she isn't. Yeah, Morgana is not going to say what she knows, I bet you anything. What, with Morgana? Sure thing. Morgana knows. Yeah, you don't even recognise your lover. Oh. Oh, right, okay. Her. Yeah, because Gazelle is so blind that she thinks it's the white-haired girl, of course. I mean, it is somebody who is coming to the mansion who will be in need of her support. That's the thing. Yeah. I find it surprising that Gazelle is kind of tricked in her vision that that is the white-haired girl. God. Oh, you do that. Everything will change. Isn't that interesting, the white-haired girl? And it is interesting how Morgana just totally hates the white-haired girl. I mean, even when she has been saved, she just totally denies that she looks like him. Him. Dude, fuck off. Her! I suppose obviously Gazelle has wanted to see Michelle because she wants somebody to keep her loneliness who isn't Morgana, and I suppose to do her duty as the person that she believes is the maid. That was quite cool. Is that the end? Or are we going to see a little bit more of Morgana's perspective? Oh no, I think that might be the end. Yeah, looks like it. That was interesting. I like that. Nah, that's a good little detail. It was nice characterization of Morgana, and also just an indication of how blind the maid is, just properly highlighting that extent. And yeah, brutal. Proper brutality. And it's just interesting. I think something that I've never really thought about, which is quite important, just how Morgana is so unbelievably powerful compared to all of the other people in the story in the beginning, and then how her power really, really decreases as the power Michelle has increases, really. Yeah, Morgana's really unusual. It's just interesting that she was totally entertained and she really didn't do anything to reveal anything until chapter 4. She was just laughing so much, especially when she was just completely destroying the backlog, just making everything so obvious that it was fake. I mean, she couldn't contain her laughter, and obviously just not really pity, but just just it's kind of like an arrogance in a way. Oh yeah, I know the truth and you don't. And just constantly hinting that everything would be so much better if the truth wasn't known. Anyway, I will just BRB and then we'll begin the backstage. Right. Here we go. Hang on a sec. Right. Here we go. Okay, so the backstage is beginning here. Which time period is it beginning? But the only thing is, I thought Morgana totally left the mansion, and I thought that all of the souls are freed from the mansion. It seems like maybe this is a parallel universe or something like that. Morgana definitely seems annoyed. Hang on a second, is she talking about us? Or what? Yeah, fair enough. I'll do it though, it's fucking interesting. Yeah, that's hilarious to think about the fact that she is referring to us. To be fair though, that is a good point. We are an uninvited soul. Us and our lives, we have nothing to do with said mansion, so why should we actually have the ability to view the stories kind of like from a third perspective. Well, not third perspective, sorry, from an outside perspective, where we see kind of like Morgana's perspective in a way. We see Michelle and Gazelle in the first 3 chapters, and then obviously everything else. We just see it all happen. Do we have permission to do that? Should we really be able to do that? I suppose it is technically the case that we are an uninvited soul. God, I forgot how cool her skeleton hand looks. I would. I'm sorry, but if somebody who has a skeleton hand, it's not a prosthetic limb that's, I don't know, made to look like a skeleton hand, which would be really cool, can I just mention? If you had a genuine skeleton hand with authentic bone and somebody gave me the offer to hold that hand, I would fucking take it. That would be so cool. Like, seriously. That would be so cool. Obviously, if somebody was alive, I wouldn't hold hands with a dead person. I wonder why that's beyond Morgana's powers. But I suppose Morgana can't do real interaction with us. She can only talk from set lines on a script. Interesting. I've already had that time. I want to see this. Okay. Oh my god, I'm excited for this. So basically it's fan service. Holy shit, Fata Morgana fan service though. That's gonna be cool. No, I'm actually excited for this. Fair enough. Split end, what do you mean? Oh, so... Wait, what actually is a split end? I don't know. Oh, right, okay. So it's basically just how the end of hair and is. Interesting. Oh my god, what? Bold Michelle? That would be really quite something. I remember the obese rat scene. God, I love that scene. But Michelle just saying, "Leave my hair out of this argument." Yeah, sure thing. Just justify it. Can I just mention, we have never seen this. We have never seen these two people side by side. Oh god. Oh god. Is anybody... Right. Yeah. I think even one line is enough. Well, to be fair, I was thinking more wanking, but okay. I'll just put it out there. Fair enough. Could you imagine actually dying and going to a mansion like this, and how cool it would be if everybody was here like this? Maybe this is the afterlife. So this is kind of like a fourth wall break, if anything. I love that. Michelle's just, he's not comfortable, I don't blame him. Giselle's just looking awkwardly. I mean, technically. Michelle's the protagonist of chapter 8 and 7. For 6 and 5, Giselle's kind of the protagonist, but Michelle was also partly the protagonist. And then, obviously, for chapter 4, I suppose he's not the protagonist whatsoever. The white-haired girl is. And then for chapter 3, 2 and 1, we have all of the main characters being the protagonists. So I suppose it's kind of a mix of who you want to consider the protagonists. But obviously, these two people and Morgana, they're kind of the three main characters, if you ask me, because they're kind of like the key to cracking all of the story, and they're the people that change the most and have the most story. But at the same time, so do people like Yukimasa and Nelly and Jacopo as well. Yeah. Technically, yeah. God. Gazelle's getting hot. Oh god. Having the hot spin Michelle. Rip Gazelle. God. Michelle's just not even objective. How is that? No, I'm just kidding. Oh god. They're not gonna have sex. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, that's cool. Are they going to give us new CGs? Oh god. No. God. I bet you Morgana's twisting it as well. Oh god. That's interesting. But I suppose they did a pretty good job on that, and I do see what they mean about everybody thinking about the fact that Michelle could be insignificant, because I mean, let's be honest, in that investigation chapter he just seemed like a minor character. He just seemed like a very small character, someone that you could never ever think would have the significance to be a main character. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we didn't even know who Gazelle was until chapter 5, and then it was just Gazelle. Gazelle being the most important character, obviously not in chapters like chapter 7 and, what was, Salvage as well. That's Morgana's. That's, Michelle getting the keys, and then obviously learning about Morgana's story and experiencing it himself. True. That is actually a good point. To be fair, it is quite cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. He's just kind of somebody who is just totally caught up in his situation, and he just doesn't feel as if he can do anything about it, and he just grieves rather than trying to intervene. Yeah, it's difficult though, you can't really blame him. So the 3 chapters in the beginning are like the prologue to the story, and then chapter 4 is the prologue to chapter 5 in a way. Gozia. Dude, his name is Yukimasa. Oh my god. Dude, how? What is ukulele and eucalyptus? Oh, okay, so ukulele is just the same thing but in kana. Where it was Yukari. Seriously? That's surprising because Yukari is like a light purple, isn't it? Or something like that. Oh, does it not? I thought it did. Wait, so... Oh, right, okay, so... Yeah, Yukari can be, like, the name can be written with Murasaki's kanji, and Murasaki means purple in Japanese. Okay, so that's where I got that from. Obviously, I got that from Yakumo Yukari from Toho 7. Well, these guys are really crap at remembering. It is a shit joke, to be fair. Chapter 2 was crazy. Oh yeah. Yeah, totally. The impression at the beginning is more similar to the Lord, and then the impression at the end is more similar to, I don't know, the Jacopo that we know. Which is quite ironic considering how Morgana's impression of Jacopo changes throughout the story, because at first, he's really, really considered to be similar to the Lord. He is considered to be the Lord, but at the end, they're different people in her head. Because they are. Isn't it interesting that the only parts that are being looked about these people for Morgana, they're all negative. All negative. They have reasons for what they have done. That's kind of a common theme about Morgana. Just look at what they've done rather than the reasons that have caused them to do said thing. Fair enough. And he's surprised. Dude, you were exactly that. How does Gazelle change if that's the case? Actually, that is fair. To be fair, that was the past Michelle though, and he has significantly changed. But it's not deniable that he has objectively done something like that though. He has. God, yeah. Yeah, fair enough, I agree. I wonder if they're going to say anything about Gazelle possibly being an illusion. It's hilarious how disgusting Morgana finds the love between them. Fair enough. No wonder this game has so many nice twists. I wonder what happened there. I've not read that. Right. That's interesting. I do wonder where the demo ends. I might actually search it up. Oh, so somebody's done a video showing the demo backstage. Do you know what? I will just check. Is it possible to get the demo version? Because I might check that out. Oh no, so it doesn't look like we can. Looks like we've got to find somewhere to download it. What the fuck is this? Wait, is this? Oh my god, this is really weird. Look at how different this is. That's so weird. I might actually check that out. Oh, that gives me something to do. So I'd assume the demo is title fan service as well. Okay, so Michelle's an asshole there. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I don't think Michelle would have been able to get over any of his pain if Morgana wasn't there, but still. He would have been able to get through it a lot easier. Fair enough. Oh well. That was not what I was expecting. Oh god. Who does? Fair enough, who does, let's be honest here. To be fair though, Michelle is a neat. I mean, obviously it's a bit different in these times, but still. Because obviously I suppose you can live without it a bit easier. Yeah, Gazelle saying that that's well said. Fair enough. Oh, it ends well. Oh, there were a ton. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that he always says that. Yeah, true. No matter how much trouble there was to get to the ending. Let me guess, he's made an idiot as a result of Gazelle. The King of Misfortune is smiling. I'm sorry, but Gazelle did have it very bad. See, I don't think she had it nearly as bad as Morgana, but I don't know about... I don't know, Michelle's worse as well. Because at least Morgana had a loving family, which none of those people had. Oh, right, so you are talking about the maid as well. Fair enough. Still happened. I just find it really interesting. There's this reoccurring theme where Michelle and Gazelle just have instinctive emotions that are a bit ridiculous, but at the same time they're kind. But Morgana can't help but think that they are ridiculous. But of course she can't, because she's never really experienced them. Which is quite significant, I think. Yeah, and that does kind of make sense why that would be something reasonable. Yeah, she's still brought towards the light in the end. Fair enough. But to be fair, I suppose the justice and righteousness causes him to say really cheesy things without questioning it whatsoever. I suppose they are, yeah. God. What's number one? So he's most interesting when he's being made fun of. Oh god. Oh yeah, she's sick. Obviously, an excuse to go. I mean, hundreds of years can change somebody. I wouldn't have imagined it initially, but there are some elements that indicate that they are the same, but also, it's just not really the biggest surprise if you ask me. Fair enough. What? I like that. That's interesting, especially considering that Gazelle, when under the influence of being the maid, kind of thought that she was Morgana. It does kind of make sense for their speech patterns to kind of be similar, I suppose. But that's interesting that she got it all from Morgana. she really wants to deny it. Oh, she's provoked. Oh god. What? I bet you he's just gonna say yes. It's such a Morgana thing to say. It does. I can imagine the opposite. True. Oh god, they're talking ridiculous now. Ridiculously talking. The cellular level. Yeah, I don't blame her. That is very, very cheesy. They just always get sidetracked. Jesus Christ. Imagine these people trying to be productive or do some sort of, I don't know, like a schoolwork task or something. Yeah, fair enough. Jesus. True. That's weird. I don't really like that. I mean, maybe they could have done it well, but imagine if that was how the story progressed. That would be really weird. I mean, you were? What? Yeah, seriously. Oh, well. Oh, God. Well, this is going to be a bit embarrassing for Gazelle. I mean, I was just thinking about this today, actually. But holy shit, think about the Chapter 5 CGs and how many of them completely exaggerate her proportions. Like, seriously, nearly all of the CGs she's in that chapter do. I mean, fair enough. Like, by a margin as well. This is why you fell for Gazelle, obviously. What? Michelle literally said the opposite yesterday. Fair enough. Oh my god, isn't that hilarious? That Gazelle just kind of seems like a demon. Gazelle seems like a demon because of Michelle's sexual preferences. Oh god. Oh god. So this is basically, if you want Gazelle as a waifu, this is your ticket to doing it. Yeah, that is a good point. Michelle's a bit more complicated. Fair enough. Michelle would not have grown without Gazelle nearly as much as he did. What about you? Yeah, basically Morgana is going to get her way. I wonder what's going to happen now. We've got a different theme. I suppose this year is not really appropriate considering that we're not with Gazelle anymore. Oh god. Do I really have to? God, what a total roast right there. Yeah. But that is fair because Michelle believes that everybody has a reason for their actions, hence why, well, I suppose why he could so passionately do everything that he did in Chapter 8. Yes, it is interesting how even after all of this time, Morgana thinks like this. To be fair, I mean, I do kind of get what Morgana says to a certain extent, because, I mean, he could never blame anybody for what he thought was a result of him. He blamed himself rather than blaming other people, even though he hated other people. He hated Amy to death, I bet you anything. But ultimately, he hated himself way more than he could ever hate her. This is going to be exciting. We can actually pick. I don't know. Should we be traditional? That's a bit, yeah, let's be traditional. I get that I'm being a bit boring, but I think it kind of makes sense. The spineless little boy. God, that's the first thing that's said. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but that's not very nice. Like, at all. You have to, okay. To be fair, if Mell was reincarnated, maybe I'd be friends with him. Who knows? Like, I'd be a type you might want to talk to, I don't know. But he does genuinely seem like a nice person if he's not in a really messed up world. And obviously he doesn't completely dirty himself. I know. Well, Morgana and pleasant aren't really two words that you can put together. Fair enough. I mean, I suppose you definitely had the courage to talk to her. Everything still ended badly though, but still. Yeah, totally. Yeah. But that was only because we made the right choice. True. That is reasonable. He was just totally shocked. And I'd feel like this as well if I was in this situation. I mean, a person that you've known your entire life just totally changes. God, she's such a bully. Fair enough. I like that. Says you, Morgana. Yeah, totally. There is nothing worse than feeling alone. Nothing. In some, obviously, there are a lot of things, like for example, like, I don't know, physical torture. But, yeah. What I'm trying to say is, in terms of emotions, things that build up long term, there's nothing worse than something like this emotionally. Yeah, fair enough. Ever since, until Nelly had the exchanged marriage, everything was fine. Then it just all crumbled. Oh my god, I know, yeah. I mean, there was the indication of the story being dark. My main examples being the game literally starting with someone random getting crucified. Obviously, now we know that's Michelle, but still, we didn't know then. And also, just the indication of desolation, and also the indication of the maid's hand being very, very cold, and just having such a lack of normality to it. And I just mentioned that my hands don't really have the best circulation, so my hands get cold very, very easily. And I just can't help but think of this story every single time my hands get really cold. Like, seriously. I just think of the maid when I realise how fucking cold my hands are. Like, how unreasonably cold my hands are. Let me change that to say, yeah. Yeah, maybe. God! True. Who would? Well, I mean, true, she was a psychopath, but still. Getting pity from the most pitiable person. Yeah, it's kind of love-hate relationship. Well, not really love-hate relationship, but it's just kind of, they get on because everything's so crazy. Oh yeah, that's a good name. Not Another Word Morgana. I've never met a person called Not Another Word Morgana. That's not a good thing. Yeah. God. He doesn't sound like the person to lie like that. Come on. Of course Morgana would think that, though. Yeah, fair enough. Oh god, never show this guy to Maria. Yeah, I totally agree. But that was before. Yeah, I don't think a sorry is going to cut something like that, Mell. Fair enough. I just looked up on the Urban Dictionary. Yes, valid source. This has other connotations. Yes, obviously from my valid source, I've given you this information. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Michelle just tries to make everything romantic and then Morgana just totally reverses it. Fair. Isn't it interesting just how much of a lack of understanding Morgana has? Can I just mention this? I mean, you only look at the pain that has been caused to you. You only look at the results of everything happening. You don't look at what caused it, and you don't try to understand this person whatsoever. I mean, no wonder she did not forgive any of their souls. I mean, I'm sorry, but there are some people like Yukimasa. You could not forgive them, no matter how much you understood them. But, I mean, it's just interesting how you don't even try to understand that people have their reasons for doing stuff like this. You just don't try to understand these people. God. Oh god. I mean, Michelle probably would. Morgana, on the other hand, just no. Oh, even Michelle doesn't want to because of the fact that I suppose he had pity from the most pitiable person. This is like telling kids to get off their electronics. Let's be honest, it has been for years, but still. I was definitely like that when I was younger. Holy shit. Oh god, Yuki Masa time. This is gonna be fun. Yeah, man. Do you know, I think I'll read this. See how much time we have after that. Yeah, god, you can... Isn't it interesting? You just see Morgana's fear. Not really fear, actually not really fear, but just instinctive loathing. Yeah, just that real lack of trust. Probably. God, I love this theme. What a nice way to greet someone. I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's hard to look at the beginning of chapter 2 and call him anything but a psychopath. It's horrible to say it, absolutely horrible. But unfortunately, I think that's accurate. What about more? Nah, he does. Yeah, I suppose we had... Yeah. Yeah, that is reasonable, actually. He was the person that killed us. Sorry, person who killed Michelle and a lot of them. Yeah. Rather than just viewing human life as kind of like a tether. Just kind of a distraction from your emotions. I like that. Yeah, my god, you just see Michelle constantly trying to reiterate his lessons to him. Yeah, oh yeah. Totally. Oh, they were good. They really were. And especially that CG where he is just... I've actually got it on a thumbnail here. This might actually be the best CG in chapter 2. Oh yeah, it's episode 12. Dude, how did I fucking remember that? It is episode 12. This CG is it's just amazing. Seriously. Oh yeah, I think I need to capture my cursor. True. The staff even provided us with notes. So to be fair, I mean, we didn't really learn that much new about Mell. I wonder if we're going to learn... It was just kind of the staff ideas kind of reinforcing what we have read about him. I wonder what's going to be the case here. God. All right. From somewhere in Asia. Oh my god. God, his reaction. Yeah, you can't really know where he was. Really? Oh, I suppose because so that we can't really guess where he's from originally. This is not loud at all, but it's just really, really high pitch. That's why it's a bit overbearing. Yeah, fair enough. He never had multiple personality disorder though. We thought he was schizo, hearing voices, stuff like that, but that was Morgana. He's just incredibly destructive and a danger to be around, and obviously has severe difficulties in controlling himself. What? True. Fair. Did you even look at her romantically? Yeah, fair. He is. He's cool though. Oh yeah. It was cool to read though, I won't deny. It was very interesting. I love the second chapter. Oh yeah. Interesting. But to be fair, I mean, Yukimasa's cackling and those insane laughs, especially when like the entire backlog is just filled with him laughing, that takes up a lot of text, so not surprising. Jesus Christ. See, have a little bit of hope. And don't be that graphic, fucking hell. Fair enough. Yeah, basically. Fair. Fair. Yeah, fair enough. Worse than people like Morgana, though? Really? Fair enough. God, I think Morgana's trying to deliberately say something nice like this because she just knows how unlikely it is to happen. Technically. Everybody is a human though, that's the weirdest thing. And Morgana actually remembers the name. Good. Yeah, Jacopo for the last person. Right, here we go. Of course he's provoked. Which theme are we gonna get? Oh, we get this theme. Nice, I like this theme. Very, very different in terms of meaning and the significance it holds once you realise the real lyrics though. It's a theme referring to how cunning and manipulative Maria is and how she will take your heart no matter how much you reject. bit of a contradiction. Oh, I really wonder why. I mean you only the best, says the person that literally prioritized himself over torturing Morgana. Yeah, he just became totally desperate. Totally. Well, what does he see in you? What does she see in you? That's a better question. Oh my god, this is hilarious. To be fair, I don't think anything I've actually been interested in has had any relation to France. I might have played some ROM hacks made by French people when I was like 12 to 14, 15 age, but nothing else really. So France hasn't really had much of an influence on me, apart from obviously did it in school for compulsory subject in year 7 and 8 and then dropped it. I did German instead for GCSE from year 9 to 11. And obviously Michel Bollinger, that theme is obviously French. That's hilarious. To be fair, I've not tried much of French cuisine. Functional tongue. Dude, why does this guy hate the French so much? What is the Louvre? Yeah, so it's basically just a lower mean watchtower. I don't know, I don't really. A structure in a roof incorporating openings for the passage of smoke. Don't really understand how that aligns with the context, but I love how he just totally insults Michel. No matter what happens with Jacopo, he hates the French. Jesus Christ, this guy should have been English. Just that kind of stereotypical hatred that is always associated with the French, that people just think that British people have. Just, I don't know, I've heard some people just think that I guess every British person hates the French, but obviously that's not true in reality. It's just kind of a stereotype that some people have. I mean, he asked for it. Who's the most obnoxious character then? Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I just think it's so funny that this is being so unproductive. They're just not even getting to the point of the cue cards at all. Almost. Fair enough. Reasonable. Yep, reasonable. He would do that over his dead body. No, he wouldn't even do it over his dead body. He would never do it. Oh god. Morgana, please stop. Also, yeah. Shitty, cheesy acronyms. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we kind of have given... I mean, let's be honest, just how he's conducted himself here has given him a lot of indications of his character, how desperate he is, how overcome with jealousy he is, like Morgana said. Also, just in general, how depressing he is and how he's just totally living his life in terms of greed. The shame, needing to retell your story in the face of a Frenchman. How could you do it? Why does he hate the French though? I really do wonder. What? Oh. Fair. I mean, my god. Yeah, after all of this. Now you have the Frenchman telling you your life story. What are you going to do, Jacopo? Yeah. And that's what caused this decline. Fair. This story basically could have entirely been prevented if he just told Morgana that he loved her. Or maybe if he didn't accept Morgana. Oh god, he just always has to give some sort of indication of being the number one and being egotistical, let's be honest here. Yeah. Only if we make that choice to see him though. But technically, yeah. Oh my god, him using French phrases. Oh god. That's hilarious. No, let them. God damn it. I love that. Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, fair. Right. This is where we will continue tomorrow. Yeah, me just remembering which... I suppose we can replace this stage. Stage? I meant save. Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, that was quite fun. I like this light-hearted approach, just kind of talking about all the characters a bit more, and just in general, seeing some more perspectives and having some fun times with all of the characters. I wonder how much fan service there's going to be. I do wonder about the demo ending. I definitely will have to look into that soon. But yeah, I'm gonna hopefully finish this tomorrow, and yeah, I'll see you then. That will be probably like the second to last episode of the base game, because obviously we've got to get the last Steam achievement, and we've also got to check out the demo as well, so there will be a bit more. But yeah, there really isn't much more. It's just hard to believe how close we are to finishing this, to be honest. Anyway, see you guys next time.